Hello everyone and welcome into Syracuse High School for tonight's matchup between the Herriman Mustangs and Syracuse Titans. It's a battle of the undefeateds and we can't wait to bring it to you live on KSL Sports Rewind. JT Wistersill and Brian Brown here with you. Brian, what are you most looking forward to about tonight's matchup?
Football, JT, that's an easy answer for me. We'll overlook the uniform comparison to start the game. Syracuse head to toe in their kind of Seahawks gray look, Herriman in the all whites. But the most important action on the field, JT, I think is going to be this Syracuse offense and this rushing attack against a Herriman defense that's out to prove something.
Both these teams coming off of impressive road wins for Syracuse. They went into Brighton's house and won 23-17 last Thursday night. What impressed you most about that performance we saw from the Titans?
Well, you talked about it, JT. It's a road win and in as hostile an environment as you can get in high school football, but more importantly, it's a Thursday night game, and it was a bit of a sloppy affair, but Syracuse stayed in the fight through the entirety of the game, never wavered, really won the game on the backs of their defense there at the end, and Brighton is a formidable foe for this Titan team who has aspirations of making it to a state championship.
And as for Herriman, it's a team you and I called last year. They went up to Skyridge, you and I were out there for it. That's not a fair representation when you're going against that Skyridge defense, but another year for this program, and they're coming off an impressive road win in their own right. They went to Green Valley, out of state in Nevada, and were able to get it done. And before that, bested Bountiful, so they find themselves 2-0 going into a hostile environment themselves tonight.
Yeah, taking a win from Bountiful to start the season, a great way for this Herriman program to start the year off. They were a year in training last year, JT, and we saw them against Skyridge. Really struggled with the athleticism, the length, the size, the everything that Skyridge brought to the table. But this is a team that's 1 year older, 1 year wiser, and one more player in Ephraim Asiata.
Yeah, Asiata is off to an incredible start this season. Of course, did not play last high school football season because of the tragedy involved in the shooting, but has come back and it looks exceptional, and he's just been outstanding all year long, Brian.
He has, and he was always projected to be a phenomenal talent. Like you said, JT had his junior year interrupted while going through recovery. It was a very intense process. He's had to really fight through to get back to this point, and you see it in the way he plays, JT. No holds barred, everything full go, and he has been a menace out there for this Herriman defense.
The short kick will bounce out of bounds at about the 27. They didn't even want to give the explosive DJ Mays a chance to return it, and we're going to get to see Asiata right away. He's top 3 in the state in sacks already with 4.
Yeah, averaging 2 sacks a game, like you mentioned. And if that doesn't sound like all that impressive, if you add it up by the end of the year, that means you should have 22 sacks.
Pretty
right?
good.
That's pretty impressive. So he's going to be someone that this Syracuse offense is going to have to mark. They're going to want to really establish the run game with Ethan Larkin, and obviously try and get some touches to their outstanding wide receiver core as well.
Yeah, DJ Mays coming off a 150-yard game. Sean Blanton in week 1 was impossible to cover for Riverton. And Jake Hopkins, second year starting for him. He's flanked by Kobe Bennett in the backfield, both returning starters from a year ago. They'll start it just past the 20. And it's an easy pitch and catch for a nice completions and a gain.
Yeah, and we talk about wanting to establish the run game. Sometimes those short passes can do it for you. And really, if you're Syracuse, you want to get on the board early. But already, Ephraim Asiata making his mark in this game, making the tackle there.
Yeah, the athletic pass rusher leads this Herriman team in tackles with 16, and we already mentioned the 4 sacks in total. 2nd and 2 from the 43. Hopkins motions a man across. Play clock down to 10.
You've seen the check with me play call as players are checking their wristbands to see what to audible towards.
They fake a high snap and give it to Bennett. Bennett runs into a Mustang, but still gets the first down.
Yeah, great job to not be fooled there by I believe it was number 33 on the play, the middle linebacker for Herriman.
Kobe Bennett on the carry on the direct snap.
Exactly what you're looking for if you're Herriman. Great job by McCray Parker. Just a sophomore, but 6 foot 205. Really making his presence felt early on.
First down of the day for the Titans. And a false start will back them up a little bit. Still only week 3, Brian.
Yeah, and listen, with an offense the way that Syracuse likes to run it, where you're going to have a lot of motion and movement, it's to be expected that it's going to come at least once or twice in the game. But I think that's something that Coach Mike Knight is willing to live with if it nets them some big explosive plays.
Syracuse on the season has scored 61 points and only allowed 17. They blasted Riverton in week 1, 38-0 before that gritty week 2 road win on a short week that we already mentioned. 1st and 15 from the 41. Hopkins gets it to Mays and gets most of the yardage back and then some.
And nice job by Hopkins, standing stout in the pocket. And like you mentioned, JT, multi-year starter here at Syracuse. A lot of experience. You can see the way he plays so composed in the pocket. And his stats aren't going to be eye-popping, but he's definitely the leader of this offense. And he's going to be a huge part about making sure the ball gets distributed to his playmakers. And you saw Mays there, one of those playmakers.
4 touchdowns in week 1 for Hopkins. You mentioned last week kind of the struggle a little bit offensively. Threw 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions overall. But right now has his offense right at midfield. The give to Bennett. And a nice hole is opened for a first down. Kobe Bennett.
With a great physical run.
Yeah, great job by Bennett there, but that one was opened up by, I believe that was our guy, Ben Acker-Otis.
Yes.
On the pole. Not quite ready to mention the Pancake Platoon, but I have a feeling that if we get one, he may be involved.
It's another guy who's been a multi-year starter for this team as well. It's one of the trends with this Titans team and the reason they've gotten off to such a hot start on the season. Off to a pretty good one right now, too. 1st and 10 from the 44. The fake to Bennett. And the quick throw that time, and just a little bit of wobbly all over the place kind of play.
Yeah, screen passes require a lot of execution, and you mentioned, JT, we're still in week 3, sometimes hard to execute. I said it was Ben Acker-Otis. It was not. It was Topi Lelenoa, the junior guard, with a great job on the pull, but you'll see Acker-Otis there at the right tackle position. 3-star recruit, has a lot of interest from the next level, but this Syracuse offensive line, I think, is one of the more underrated units, especially in Region 1.
They'll fake it to Bennett. Motion on a double move and just over the outstretched hand that time of Sean Blanton.
You see a lot of action in the backfield there. Play action, trying to get the ball out there. Blanton was open. Hopkins, I'm not sure if the sun was in his eyes or what, just not able to land it there in the breadbasket for Blanton. And an opportunity missed because he was definitely open with plenty of grass.
Yeah, how about the backyard football there, too? Originally pointing him to send him down even deeper, and they're going to have to throw it a little bit deeper this time because it's 3rd and 10 from the 44.
Randy Moss, Keyshawn Johnson, all very proud of Blanton with the calling for the ball.
Blanton at the bottom of your screen, Mays in the slot to the top. Hopkins steps up in the pocket, looks past the sticks, and it's a first down for the Titans. What a sideline grab by Blanton.
Yeah, great job there by Hopkins to avoid the rush. Multiple Herriman defenders there, especially number 8 for the Mustangs. And Hopkins just rifles one in there, able to move the chains. That's a big conversion for this offense. They want to keep Herriman on the field defensively as much as possible.
Yeah, Asiata, arguably the top pass rusher in the state, so obviously he draws the attention. But Ellison, with 2 sacks already in 2 games, has produced early here too. The pitch to Bennett. Bennett, a gain of 6 as he is swung forward on the tackle.
Kobe Bennett over the left side.
Nice job by Kobe Bennett to find the crease and hit the hole. Close quickly. Again, that Herriman defense. We talked about Ephraim Asiata at the open, but it's not just Asiata, right? He is the big name to start. There are a lot of great players out there. Mentioned McCray already. You talked about Ellison, multiple sacks. They want to get after you. They want to be aggressive, and we're seeing that right now.
4 players on this Mustangs defense with already over 10 tackles on the season. They'll give it to Bennett again. He'll bounce it to the outside, lowers the shoulder, fighting for the extra yards, and he muscles his way for a first down.
Yeah, he does, and then great job there by our guy Acker-Otis to set the edge. He and Ellison are going to be a fun matchup to watch, switching back and forth throughout the game. Herriman's going to adjust the strength of their defense to whatever it is that Syracuse is rolling out there, so you're not always going to see one right end or one left end the way it might, look in the program. But again, you see is Herriman trying to stunt and confuse this offensive unit.
And they'll feed Bennett right now, who's been hot. Only a gain of 2 this time, though, as the Mustangs defense responds.
And you can see there on the power that the stunt actually worked. Allowed a defender to come free through the backfield. Bennett not able to avoid it in time, so a 2-3 yard gain when previously we'd seen 6 or 8.
Yeah, speaking of what we've seen from him tonight, Bennett, the leading rusher for this Titans team last year, he just wasn't himself the first few games, nursing an injury coming into the season. Only had 11 carries for 16 yards. He's already over that, and it's 2nd and 8 right here. They'll take the deep shot, looking for Mays. Mays makes the grab. Touchdown, Titans.
Do I have to say it? Touchdown.
I don't know about you, JT, but that looks like a rewind top 5 candidate there. The one-hander. One times it. What a catch.
That hookup
DJ
is
Mays.
Jake Hopkins to DJ Mays.
It's a party in the end zone for the Syracuse Titans with the first score of the game.
Beautiful throw and catch as you highlighted, Brian. Rhett Thompson, the exceptional Titans kicker, on to attempt the PAT. He puts it through. Titans on their first drive. Get it into the end zone, courtesy of the spectacular grab by DJ Mays. 7-0 with 7:43 to go in the first quarter. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back inside to Syracuse High School, where the Titans on top early. A successful first drive. Bennett featured heavily, and then it was Hopkins to Mays on the long touchdown, Brian.
Yeah, great execution there. We saw early on the composure from Hopkins doing a great job staying in the pocket. Pays off big time on that throw, and it is pay dirt for this Titan squad as they get on the board first, 7-0.
Thompson, after putting the PAT through, set to blast it deep. This one won't reach the end zone. It's returnable for Herriman. Hansen with his hands on it. Hansman with a couple of spin out of the tackle and gets it to the 20.
Yeah, and our broadcast, JT, brought to you by Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLU Outfitters. The coziest wearable sleeping bags has you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather and watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. Go to igloooutfitters.com and enter Rewind for $20 off. Never miss the moments.
Our first look at the Herriman offense, starting it at the 20 with 7:36 to go. Ta'ai gets the start. Looks left, waits, pump fakes, trying to scramble to buy time, and throws an interception! It's picked up! Touchdown, Titans! They lead at 14-0 on the pick six!
Mariner Richards with a 23-yard interception return.
Richards picks it off.
Mariner Richards, take a bow, young man. Great awareness. Scoops up the ball as his teammate hits the arm of the quarterback, and he is off to the end zone. They might have picked him up in Utah County if there wasn't an end line there. He had nothing but green grass ahead of him. What a turnover, and what a start for this Syracuse Titan team.
Syracuse,
you could just hear this place erupt with that one.
It's so loud in here, some people forgot they're on the PAT unit.
Great. It's a good thing we're not right below the speaker here or anything, yes. Right?
Great pressure applied that time, and then as you said, Mariner Richards, the 6-foot junior, with the pick six, and pending this extra point, it's a 14-0 Syracuse lead with still 7:25 to go.
PAT up and good. Hey, 10 seconds later than that.
Well, Brian, you can't start much better than that if you're Syracuse.
I mean, you can't script it any better, right? A nice long touchdown drive, and then the quick turnover, the pick six, touchdown after interception for those of you who liked the full naming of it.
Yeah. Herriman looking to get a stronger return this time. Their unit on the field just a play ago before the pick six. Or interception, as you feel like the longer one, as you stated. And this will be a touchback.
Yeah, pick six, as the kids on the internet like to say it. Touchdown after interception. For those of us a little more professional nomenclature. And we really didn't get that much of a look at this Syracuse defense, but it is a very aggressive, very tough defense. A little undersized, JT, comparatively, but that's almost a misnomer because the state of Utah has so much talent in the trenches.
Hoyt Pula, the edge rusher, applied the pressure that led to the interception. Mustangs will go to the ground, and a thundering hit comes in to limit the gain to just 3. Laying the wood that time, flying in to break it up was Preston Haney.
Yeah, Pula, a long, lanky junior. You can see
Tennessee
he's
Fafita
kind of
on
built in
the
that
carry.
same mold as Ephraim
Brought
Ofsiata.
down by
Explosive,
Preston
twitchy
Haney.
edge defender, and
Gain of
just
3
able
on
to
first
close
down,
on the
brings up
quarterback so
2nd and
quickly
7.
and create the turnover. But again, Herriman a little shell-shocked right now on offense. Needs to settle down, take a deep breath.
Get to an easy completion, but he's buried instantly. Big time hit in the backfield by Ty Tesh.
Swing pass out to the running back.
Well, talk about a
Ty
tie going
Just
to the
simply
defender
not
on that
having
one.
that
Ty
play go
Tesh
off.
with
That
a
is
big
loss
hit.
of 2 on 2nd down, brings up 3rd and 10.
Puts Herriman in 3rd and long, and this offense is in dire need of something to give them some rhythm, JT. They're in danger of turning the ball over here on downs and giving Syracuse an opportunity to go up 21-0.
Frederick to I. Feels the blitz, throws it too far as it's incomplete. Punt unit going to come on for the Mustangs.
Yeah, you can see Ty with the aggressive
Frederick
throw there.
Ty
Knew he had to grip it
pass
and
to the
rip
far
it.
sideline.
It's a little bit too much
Intended
for his
number
receiver
3,
out
Taylor
there.
Hatch falls incomplete.
And while it is an
That'll bring up 4th
incompletion,
down and 10.
you like
Punt
the action,
team
you like
on
the play
for
call.
The Mustangs.
Trying to get something going, anything, because the last couple plays for this Herriman offense have been really, really dangerous. And I mean, not physically dangerous,
Yes.
but dangerous in terms of getting down 3 scores.
Under 10 yards in 2 combined drives. Multiple players running on the field. In fact, one that's going to be a flag as one didn't even get on the right side. And Coach Pierce not happy about that one.
Understandably so. Can relate. All the parents at home who watch their kids take a cookie out of the jar after you told them no. It's that same feeling.
Procedure penalties going to mack up Mustangs 5
Mentioned
yards.
Coach Dustin Pierce of the Mustangs. How about Coach Mike Knight and what he's turned this Syracuse program into, Brian?
He's turned them into a contender, JT, and Northern Utah has been a little bit left of the outside in terms of what's been going on in the state championships.
That
almost
one,
get the hand on the kick
nearly
there.
blocked, ends up in the hand of Mays, and Mays will get it across the 40. Great starting field
Mays
position for the Titans.
Yeah,
Fields
great
the
job
punt
there by
just
Mays,
inside the
securing the
50-yard
punt.
line.
He's a
He's gonna be
bigger
spotted down about the
kick return or punt
37-yard
returner,
line.
I should say.
Syracuse Titans
So maybe
offense
not quite as
takes over
shifty,
1st
but
and
still
10.
able to get positive yards and really position Syracuse nicely to get another score here. And speaking of nice positions, JT, Heidemann and Associates is a flat rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest you and position yourself well to handle your business.
Hopkins on the quick little toss out in front. Some nifty moves in open field, but an even better tackle that time by Dalen Ellison.
Yeah, our guy Ellison doing a great
Brett
job
Thompson
of staying under control,
on the reverse,
doing his job,
brought down
breaking
by
down,
Dalen
not fooled by the
Ellison
B
for a
button,
loss of
spin
about
move
half a
there,
yard.
able to make the tackle, and
We'll
that's a
call it
2-yard
2nd
loss.
down and
We're seeing
11.
Syracuse early on going with a lot of trickeration, JT, trying to confuse that Herriman defense, and Herriman so far doing a pretty good job of staying there.
Rhett Thompson, the one he dragged down. The Titans kicker, also a frequent on offense. Filling a variety of roles for them. 5:35 to go. 2nd and 11 from the 38. And we got Laundry.
Yeah, and this one's going to move back as it was a Syracuse offensive lineman not able to hold his water on that one. A little shaky with your cup, young man. Make sure you stay in that stance.
We go 2nd down and 16.
I don't know if people
for the
understand how
Titan
hard,
offense.
JT, it is to stay in a stance.
Very hard.
Especially when you have to go through those check with me calls. It's an easy one to point out. Everybody can recognize when one of the big fellas moves.
Yes.
Never get love for the good stuff.
The dirty job indeed. Hopkins looks right. And a nice break on that ball that time by Trey Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson did a nice job, and you're seeing, kind of hearing maybe
Pass
some
is
boo
intended for
birds
DJ
early
Hayes,
on,
falls
but it
incomplete.
was almost as if the
It'll be a
Syracuse
3rd
wide receiver
down
was trying to
for the Titan
defend
offense.
on that one. Hopkins just a little bit off on that.
3rd and 16 now following the loss of yardage on the first play and then the 5-yard penalty on the false start.
I'd be curious if Syracuse tries to run a deep route here, or if they try to go shallow and pick up some yak.
Mays already with 1 touchdown. Instead, they'll look to Blanton here. Blanton trying to track it, goes up with 1, can't bring it in. Great coverage on the outside by the Mustangs. That time breaking it up was Jacob Prescott.
Yeah, Prescott had some really tight coverage on Blanton there as he tries to get the hand up and get a hand on the ball again. That one not able to duplicate the one-handed magic twice in a row. And Syracuse is going to punt this one away, force Herriman to operate again from deep within their own territory.
Titans defense off to a strong start. Coach Knight looking to aid them here. Kick is away. And it'll bounce on the one. Wow, it was nearly would have been another miraculous touchback, which we got a taste of last week, Brian. Was something we saw from Chase Mosley, the Olympus punter, but ends up going out of bounds, or excuse me, into the end zone. So puts Herriman at the 20. And what do the Mustangs need to do to get on track, Brian?
Drive. Let those Mustangs run. Early 2 possessions looked like there were a lot of nerves out there, and really what they need to do is they need to find some sort of rhythm and settle into their offense, right? And whatever it takes to get Tai settled in and able to operate the offense, whether it's through the run game or through the air, they need to get something sustained here.
14-0 drive starts on the 20. Tai. Quick throw to the outside, sets up the receiver's screen. Titans defense meets him quickly, but not before the gain of 5.
Yeah, nice job to get an easy completion there. Nice little screen action. Herriman running the big fella out there, number 74, trying to get a block. Getting this roster very deep for Herriman. A lot of talent, a very young team as well, JT.
2nd and 5 from the 40. Tai. Fakes the give, keeps it, and he's got a first down and then some.
See, there you go, running behind big 74. Samu Fangupo able to get some movement. And I think every coach in the country would take a 10-yard gain on a handoff, don't you think, JT?
Yes. Mustangs going up tempo here, and mentioned Tai has struggled a little bit, but he's already has a game this season where he threw 289 yards and 5 touchdowns. And I did toss 2 interceptions in that, but he's a guy who's capable of putting up some points for the Mustangs. Quick throw this time, and another easy completion as they get it out to Hatch.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see from Tai, right? The quick completions, staying true to your mechanics, getting the ball out, letting your receivers operate in space. That's going to create that separation throughout the course of the game. That's going to allow him to use those athletic abilities to get to that, whatever, however many touchdowns he might go for tonight. I hope it's 5. I hope it's 10. I'd love to see more scores.
It's always fun when they're putting up points. Tai with a clean pocket, gets it over to the sideline. It's another first down, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Goes right back to Hatch.
Great job by Taylor Hatch to secure the ball, get both feet in bounds, go out of downs right past the sticks. And again, this offense up and moving. They want to be fast, just like their Mustang mascot.
Tai fakes the pitch, keeps it. A lot of Titans in front of him, but he still manages to get positive yardage out of it.
Yeah, hard to tell if that one was a fake or if there was a little miscommunication there, but regardless, Tai does a good job of managing the situation. You can see the athleticism on display there. He's a great runner, able to get the ball upfield for a substantial gain.
Tai enters tonight's game on the season, 25 of 48 for overall for 429 yards. Gets the receiver screen over, but Titans there quickly. And the ball popped out, but a Mustangs offensive lineman on top of it.
That's the one benefit of running those screen plays, right, JT? You've got your guys who are the most aware out there, and AJ Hughes does a great job of jumping on top of it. But again, Syracuse is bringing the heat defensively, and it's something that's become a bit of a calling card for Coach Knight and his program. This is one of the toughest defensive programs and defensive teams around.
3rd and 2, Tai. Another quick throw, and they've got the first down. Making the grab that time was Drayton Stilson.
Yeah, and Herriman's doing a great job of hitting those quick outs, taking advantage of the cushion that Syracuse is giving them. And again, nice work there by Drayton Stilson to get the ball, secure it, and get past the yard to gain mark.
Samisi Faifita in the backfield next to Tai. And once again, it's another quick pass on the wide receiver screen. That ball popped out again, and this time, oh, it's still loose. Waiting to see who's on top of it. And it's Titans ball.
That's Titan football.
Well, the pigskin has been loose all game already, JT. We've seen a couple fumbles, 1 interception. That one, it actually took 2 separate occasions for Syracuse to recover, but recover they did, and they're recovering with a great opportunity to get another one of those drives going. 14-0 Syracuse as they'll start out with good field position on their own 29-yard line.
Tatum Martin with a huge fumble recovery. It was initially another Titan who had it, and then he lost it as well. Mustangs' second fumble on that drive. They were able to recover the first, but not the second. Hopkins They'll go to their own version of the receiver screen, and Mays breaking free across the 30, across the 40, makes a cut inside. Mays, if he would have stayed on his feet, might have scored as he barely gets across the 50.
Yeah, great job there by Mays, and you can see
DJ crosses midfield.
I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit here, JT, as I thought Syracuse was one of the sleeper teams here in 6A. Yep. You can see why I thought so. They've got some great talent on the outside there. They're doing an even better job of getting the ball to that talent and getting it out in the open field and let it do what it does best. Cook.
1st and 10 from the Herriman 49 with 2:14 to go. Now in the backfield next to Hopkins is Larkin, who's been very active in the first 2 games, but it's been more Bennett tonight. They'll give to Larkin here, and he gets about 3.
Yeah, he gets a lot of Herriman defenders on that as well. A hard-earned 3 yards, but you can see the difference between Larkin and Bennett, right? Bennett a little bit more the power back. Larkin a little bit of a slasher. That's typically the goal, is you want to try and open up that defense a little bit with your heavier sets, heavier backs, wear on them. Not this Herriman Mustang team. They're stout in the middle.
2 receivers each side. Blanton at the top of your screen, Mays at the bottom. Now look to Mays up top. Mays makes the contested grab. Fighting for it. Did he bring it in? Oh, they'll say incomplete. Mays thought he had it.
I thought he had it for a second as well, and just a great job by those Herriman defenders to keep hand fighting, trying to knock that ball loose. He's not able to complete the catch. It would have been a circus reel reception there, but a great throw by Hopkins. Just Mays not able to finish it. And again, he had 3 defenders all over him. So
Mustangs defense forced a punt the last time they were on the field, trying to do it again. 3rd and 8 from the 47. They fake the give that time, and it's another false start. 3rd of the first quarter for the Titans.
Yeah, now this is getting to be a problem, right, JT? And you're using that motion and the hand clap to try and simulate some kind of a snap count, right? Trying to draw that Herriman squad offsides, but in doing so, you're actually penalizing yourself, and this puts Syracuse in 3rd and very long now. We've seen them get out of it before. At the same time, that's going to be something that I guarantee you Coach Knight is going to address with his offensive line when they go to the sidelines.
All of the Mustangs defensive back playing over 10 yards off, really respecting the speed of the Titans. Hopkins rolls to the right, grabs it to Mays, and Mays will get it, but he will be short of the first down by 3 yards. But it could all be coming back, Brian, because we got a flag.
Hopkins complete to Blanton.
Nothing we love more than a flag, right, JT? An interruption of play definitely doesn't slow down our broadcast or interrupt the rhythm that we have. No. Listen, I get it. I got to make the play calls, everything like that. Blanton with a great toe touch, almost a D1 level catch over there on the sideline. Would have been short of the first down anyways, but you can see the talent from these wide receivers, and they've really developed a great chemistry with Hopkins.
I think they were checking to make sure Herriman was going to accept it. It was holding on the offensive line. Obviously, they're going to accept it because it would have set up a 3 yards, and with how this offense has been working overall in the first quarter, they probably would have gone for it.
Well, and Herriman really wants to flip the field at this point in time, right? They've started the last 3 drives inside the 30, almost inside the 20 every single time, I believe. This gives you an opportunity. Maybe you bring Ephraim Asiata off the edge, dropped into coverage on the last play. Maybe a little bit of a blitz action here, trying to rush the quarterback a little bit more. We'll see what happens.
3rd and forever. They set up the screen to Blanton, who squeezes down the sideline and tiptoes his way past the 50. That'll make it 4th and 8. And we'll see what the Titans decide to do. This is a Titans defense that did give up some yardage, but came up with a turnover when it mattered most on the previous drive, Brian.
Well, they come up with 2 turnovers even in this first half, JT, and that's the real impressive part about this defense, is that they may bend a little bit, but they have not broken yet. Still posting the shutout, and smart move here, in my opinion, by Syracuse. You're up 2 scores already. Don't tempt the fates. Take the safe play, pin Herriman deep, make them operate and drive again. Also, shout out to Jacob Prescott. Great job getting out the block on that.
Titans off for the fake, and they're not going to get it. It'll be a short field for the Mustangs, or at least shorter, as they're going to start it on the 45.
Mariner Richards.
Well, they fooled the announcing team, JT, but they sure didn't fool the Herriman coverage team. Mariner Richards trying to duplicate his explosive play in the first quarter, not able to do so, and Syracuse turns this one over, giving Herriman great field position at the 44-yard line, driving into Syracuse territory.
I mentioned Ta'ai, 7 touchdowns on the season, up to 3 interceptions after the previous one he had in the first quarter. A minute left in our first quarter here. The drive will start on the 44. They'll go to Faifita on the ground first, and he barely gets past the line of scrimmage.
And I said in the beginning of the broadcast, GT, that this Syracuse unit is undersized, but they do not play as such, right? This is a tough, gritty, feisty unit, and what they maybe lack in weight or size, they more than make up for with aggression and toughness. This is a program that has built their brand on defense and stout trench play, and you're seeing it come to fruition tonight. Titans
bring 5. Ta'ai. They give him a pocket, and he completes it for a first down. Oh, physical tackle made that time by Preston Haney, but it'll still be a first down for the Mustangs.
It is a first down, but if you're going to get a first down, you're going to pay the price, as this Titan secondary is taking no prisoners out there tonight. Again, you love the gain if you're Herriman, but you're going to pay the price with bumps and bruises throughout the course of the game.
Mustangs do not have to run another play if they don't want to. Game clock at 15, play clock at 20, and looks like we saw a false start, but this time it's not on the Titans, it's on the Mustangs.
And again, it's the movement that's catching everybody's eyes. Eye discipline, such an underrated aspect of sports. You stay focused on what your job is. Don't let the outside distractions trigger your reactions, and unfortunately on that one, Herriman gets caught.
Didn't look like they were going to run a play either, so what they were trying to do is get an easy 5 yards. Instead, they get 5 yards, but not the direction they were hoping for, because it was a penalty. Of course, the clock still runs, as I forgot. So 14-0, Titans on top, but the Mustangs still in it on KSL Sports Rewind.
Syracuse Titans 14, Herriman 0 for the Mustangs.
1st and 15 for Herriman. Ta'ai rolls out to the left, pressure in his face, tries to rifle throw downfield, and has a man. Big gain as they get the yardage back and then some. Making that grab was Caden Hansen.
Yeah, great job by Hansen there. The deeper the options, a multiple option play there. Nice little action there from Herriman with the fake, and then the rollout allows Ta'ai to have multiple choices out there. They're able to get a good game there on first down.
Ta'ai keeps, and he gets the first down before being dragged down.
Actually, I think that was
on the quarterback keeper.
Yeah, you're right. That was Ta'ai on the keeper. He fooled even me on that one, but
30-yard line, 1st and 10, Herriman.
It's exactly what Herriman needs to do, is start establishing some back-to-back plays here on the ground and through the air where they're getting consistent chunk yardage.
Titans against the Bengals last week scored just 3 points in the first quarter, already up to 14 here. Herriman goes back to the ground, and they give it to Faifita, and he gets 4.
On the carry. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on first down. Sullivan Veda.
Nice little 4-yard gain there
for the Titans.
For Herriman, you're seeing those big guys up front starting to get some movement against this aggressive Syracuse front.
It was a tough start for the Mustangs, but starting to put some offense together here. They fake it to Faifita, throw it over quickly to Hatch. Hatch met quickly. Strong physical tackle. That time is made by Jaden Perry.
If you're wondering why it's taking so long to get the ball out there, you're seeing the amount of fakes that Ta'ai has to go through to get the ball out. It's a lot of motion. It takes a lot of repetition to be very precise in that, but also sell the fake enough to freeze that secondary. Allows them to get a couple yards on the play, but Hatch not able to escape the initial defender.
Hatch entered tonight with 148 receiving yards, one of the main recipients of Ta'ai's passes. It looks like they're going to look to him again here. They'll go up top, and exceptional downfield coverage by Jaden Perry.
It really was great coverage there by Jaden, as he was a blanket all over Hatch. Nothing given up.
That brings up
I thought it was so Stummer, JC, but that was a coverage like nice. Snowy day.
Herriman looking to get on the board with the kick right here. Hagan on to attempt it. And it's nearly blocked. It's up. And it's good. Mustangs get a field goal. 14-3 with 10:05 to go.
Mustangs, the toe puncher.
Mustangs on the board, but they still got some work to do to get back into it. It's going to start on the defensive end as they're set to send it away to the Syracuse offense. What do you think about the Mustangs deciding to settle for the field goal there, Brian?
Well, they got to get points on the board at some point in time, JT. There's still a lot of game left. It's fun to see the toe puncher kicker. It's kind of a rarity these days. Able to get the field goal. It's a good start for them in terms of negating big-time mistakes and getting something positive on the board. And if you need to get something positive going in your life, Heidemann and Associates is a flat-rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742. That's 801-472-7742, or go to utah.law to find the office nearest you.
Hopkins and the Titans offense will start from the 20 with 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. They end up giving it to Mays as Mays gets it Blanton in front of him, and he's pushed out of bounds, but not before a gain of 5. They lost me on that one, Brian.
DJ Mays on the Jets.
A lot of action going on in that backfield, but you know who wasn't pulled out on the edge? Jacob Prescott does a great job
up 2nd and 4
occupying the blocker, forcing Mays to try and cut back, and by that time, he's got some help. Help the helpers, JT. Rule number 1.
Titans pass protection's done a good job holding up here, too. We haven't called Astiata's name a lot on 3rd and long here early, Brian.
Sure, and the nice part about it is when you've got great outside receivers like Blanton and Mays, you can throw those lofty passes quickly. You don't have to take the 5- and 7-step drops.
On the RPO, they decide to give it to Bennett, who's going to be dropped short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
I'll tell you what, Ephraim Astiata doesn't want to be left off the broadcast very much. He's in on that play.
Right on cue.
Line to gain for 3rd and a short 1.
We'll call it the announcer's blessing, not the announcer's jinx.
Back on the tackle.
Last week we mentioned Drew Dusher wasn't involved in the offense. He scored the touchdown the very next play.
Yeah, did Drew Dusher do anything fun last week?
I think he did.
Yeah, catch a touchdown, throw a touchdown. Yeah. Why not? Have a day.
Big day. Hopkins under center, the QB sneak. And I don't think he got there. What a stand.
Boy, the initial spot even looks a little bit generous compared to what a good job that Herriman defense did of just standing him up.
Oh, they're going to give him the first down. We don't have the greatest angle on it, but man, I thought that was a great effort by the Mustangs. It was really close, Brian.
It was, and a lot of credit to that Herriman defense for staying stout in there. It's a quick play call, a little QB sneak action, trying to catch him off guard. Syracuse does convert, keeps the drive going.
Hopkins, quick throw to Bennett. Bennett is met instantly, runs over a defender, but the defender does a great job holding on and dragging him down that time by Jacob Prescott.
Yeah, who else but number 5 out there? Man, he is playing like an absolute stallion, or excuse me, a Mustang.
Gain of 2 brings up 2nd down and
8:30 to go, 2nd and 8 for the Titans. We're able to get it on the QB sneak, and then gain of 2 on the previous play.
Maybe Jeff Hansen back in the studios can tell us the difference between a stallion and a Mustang. He's all about the wild horses.
Hopkins throws, and a great catch is made by the kicker, Rhett Thompson.
Yeah, great job by Thompson. He's a slot receiver, does a lot of work in taking the motion on that one. Able to get the ball, but that's a terrific throw by Hopkins, the quarterback. See him stand in the pocket, deliver the strike. He is operating like a crafty veteran out there tonight.
1st and 10 from the 42, under 8 to go. They'll give it to Bennett. Bennett buried. Big time tackle made, that time by McCray Parker.
Yeah, McCray Parker already getting on the broadcast a couple times tonight. I believe he's just a sophomore for the Mustangs. You can see a bright future for him. Now, JT, this is one of the rare matchups where you see 2 teams, 2 programs with just a glutton of talent. Great players at every position. I think we're in for a really long fight tonight.
Hopkins throws it out quickly to Thompson. Thompson tried to follow his blockers and eventually gets dragged back. Strong tackle made by Willenberger.
Yeah, you can see the shifty Thompson just not able to outrun the reach of, I believe it was Brody Bennett on that one, number 4. As he makes the tackle. We've got 2 number 4s on the roster, so if
yes, we do.
Those
are always fun.
I apologize.
3rd and 5 from the 46 of the Titans. They motion Thompson across. Hopkins with time. waiting, looks downfield, has Larkin open, and he'll make the grab. Larkin across the 20 before he follows his blockers and is inside the 5. It was a near touchdown.
Jake Hopkins pass
Well, they
complete.
got everybody fooled on that one.
All the way down to the 3-yard
Hopkins
line.
finds his receiver
And there's
wide
a
open
flag
on
the play.
the wheel route. He's able to take it deep down the field. Not quite to Pater, JT, but my goodness, Syracuse is threatening.
Yeah, check my mistake last time. I said it was Larkin Bennett on the big gainer. He's been the primary back all game long, and he was left uncovered after originally staying in the block. And it ends up being a monster gain, as you mentioned, Brian, and a great opportunity for Syracuse to retake their 2-touchdown lead.
It seems like there's a discrepancy about where exactly he stepped out of bounds here, JT. They're trying to set up the chains. It looks like maybe he had stepped out of bounds all the way back at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, looks like it, which he got a lot farther than that we initially thought. So big change there, but still in the red zone for the Titans.
Look, Syracuse has been able to move the ball well all game long, so while a little bit of a setback for them, have to expect they'll do the same thing.
They'll feed it to Bennett. Bennett can't break the tackles, but still
Kobe
moves
Bennett
it for a
on the
first
carry
down.
left side.
It's one of those things about explosive plays, JT. They really open up the defense, and we saw Herriman closing so well early on in the drive. And now you can see the physical force of Bennett breaking tackles, getting into the secondary, stretching those 2- and 3-yard gains into 6 and 7.
First and goal from the 8. Hopkins looking for Blanton up top. Blanton just mosses the Mustang, and he brings it in for the potential touchdown. No celebration going right now. This is going to be pass interference on someone, Brian.
Yeah, flag interrupting the celebration rhythm of the game here. No idea what the call is. It looks like the officiating crew is discussing something. It looks like this one's going to go back, JT.
Wow, offensive pass interference. Ooh, that's a tough call, Brian. I don't know if I saw that. What did you see?
Yeah, unless the official saw something from that backside angle that we didn't see, JT, it looked like it was just a great play out there. Again, these are 6'3", 6'4" receivers for Syracuse. It really takes a lot for a guy that tall
from the 8
to complete a pass interference, but
repeat a first down.
Coach Knight not happy about that. So it'll be first and goal from the 23 after that one. 6:05 to go here in the first quarter. This Titans offense has ate up a lot of yards, though, in just a couple plays. Still capable of scoring even from this far out. Hopkins gives it to Bennett. Bennett dragged down, gain of 4.
Again, after the penalty, a 4-yard gain just really doesn't feel like much. Syracuse here was second and goal from the 18-yard line. And they're going to have to make this up.
Lau Wong on the tackle. Ball's going to be
going back to the previous one, I actually thought it was going to be defensive pass interference because to me it looked like the defender had gotten into Blanton's face mask at the very end, but ends up being a penalty against the Titans, and now it's 2nd and 18 with 5:30 to go. Hopkins gets it over the middle of the field, and it's brought in. Nice gain that time on second down by Brock Hopkins.
On the receiving
you can see what a great job Syracuse's offensive line is doing in protecting Hopkins. They're allowing him to open up massive throwing lanes. Some of that is a little bit of the undisciplined pass rush from Herriman. This is a team that's had a lot of success getting sacks, getting pressure, getting in the quarterback. So it's allowing these wide throwing lanes, and Hopkins taking advantage as he's working over the middle of the field, attacking that zone.
Hopkins alone in the backfield. 4-man rush. He's given time, looking, waiting, rolls out to the right, looking downfield, and it'll be dragged down from behind. Physical tackle by the Mustangs. Getting home finally is Ellison.
Yeah, just a great job by Ellison of staying with it, chasing down Hopkins from behind, goes for the reach, tries to knock that ball out, not able to do so. Gets the
Syracuse irate about a horse collar tackle. I think that's what they want. What did you see, Brian?
I didn't see the horse collar, JT. As you mentioned, our broadcast location from here is a little
We got the same angles on the Syracuse
so I got
fans,
a nice view of the brick wall here. I had to lean inside to try and look through the window. But from what I saw, I didn't see a horse collar. He wasn't dragged down from behind. You can grab the collar. You just can't tackle the offensive player by the collar.
After the sack by Ellison.
It'll be a timeout for Syracuse, and Coach Knight is going to call over one of our officials to talk things over with him. We are going to step away for a moment on KSL Sports Rewind, 14-3. It's fourth down actually, as I got my downs a little backwards. Ellison had the sack, and Thompson's going to come on to attempt the kick.
Field. He's lined up for a 33-yard field goal attempt.
33-yard attempt, if you couldn't hear that through the PA.
Which is right on top of us. Thompson's been money all season long. And that one might have been partially blocked, because that is no good. The momentum on the Mustang side.
Yeah, something you can almost always expect from a Dustin Pierce team. Strong special teams. They're special for a reason, JT, and they were special on that one as the Mustangs block the kick. And I tell you what, JT, if you're getting blocked by the cold weather, Igloo Outfitters is the coziest wearable sleeping bag. They have you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather and watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. Go to igloooutfitters.com and enter Rewind for $20 off. Never miss the moments. That's IGLUoutfitters.com. Promo code REWIND.
Ty and the Mustangs offense begins to go to work. They give it on the ground to Fifita. He gains 3. It will be 2nd and 7 with just under 3:45 to go. Ground game really has not been there for the Mustangs. It's pretty much been through the air on the drives they have had success, Brian.
Really, and what they've found success in is on the edges, right? Operating in those areas of the zone that Syracuse is almost willing to sacrifice, but at some point in time, Herriman's got to get a big play, whether they do it through a deep pass or some yak.
That ball might have been deflected as it ends up into the Mustangs sideline. It'll be 3rd and 7 with 3:18 to go. And now potentially Syracuse is going to have some time to work with it, because if you're Herriman and you're able to get a first down here, Brian, you get the ball to start the second half, so you could get the lead, but you're going to have to execute on 3rd and long right here.
Here we go, Titan Nation.
It's all about taking it one play, because you're always one play away from a beautiful day. Herriman's got to execute on this one.
Ready to eye. Titans showing blitz. They'll brush 4. And they're gonna get home. Oh, that's a live ball! Ty lost it, and it's a touchdown! Syracuse gets in! Mariner Richards with the recovery!
With his 2nd defensive touchdown of the game!
Mariner Richards, what a day! He better be getting free drinks at every convenience store in the county. His 2nd touchdown on defense. Had the fake punt attempt that didn't come through, but I think that one's going to get overshadowed by the fact that he's got now two defensive touchdowns, JT. I'm losing my mind.
Hashtag Rewind Top 5?
Might as well. It might just be Mariner Richards highlights for the rest of the game.
Thompson back on to attempt the PAT. Last kick was blocked. Looking to make it 21-3. What a night for Richards. What a first half for Richards. Thompson puts it through 21-3. Syracuse getting it done on their home field.
Point after try is up and good. With just over 3 minutes left in the first half. Syracuse Titans 20.
What a night for the Syracuse defense. They've only allowed 3 points and have not one but 2 defensive touchdowns in the first half, and they're all courtesy of one man, Brian.
Yeah, Mariner Richards has been everywhere tonight. He has an interception for a touchdown, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, almost had a fake punt conversion. And I don't know, maybe you need to find a way to get Mariner Richards the ball more on offense too. I think he did drop one pass, but other than that, he's been a one-man wrecking crew. Right place, right time. Right place, right time, Richards.
Into the end zone for an
I don't think that nickname needs to stick.
Yeah.
Going to be first.
Thompson launches another out of the end zone. I talked about it a little bit last drive, though, Brian. Look, obviously 2 offensive turnovers, both of those going for touchdown, really hurt the Mustangs. If Herriman could score in this 3 minutes, maybe even get a field goal out of it, they get the ball to start the second half. They can get back into this game still.
They can. There's plenty of time on the clock, and really the biggest problem with Herriman is it's all been self-inflicted, right? It's been Ty trying to throw or make things happen outside the pocket where he should probably just let the play go, and that's the hardest part about being a quarterback, is knowing when to take the sack and when to live to play another play.
Syracuse defensive line is dominated in the trenches tonight, and they're going to drop Ty here as well.
Ty on the quarterback draw. Guess who? Number 48, Hoyt.
They'll credit Pulo with the stop, but almost everyone from the defensive line had beaten their man and gotten in on that tackle.
Yeah, and again, the Syracuse defense plays aggressively. They want to shoot through the gaps. They want to make those tackles. They want to really emphasize their will at the line of the scrimmage. They attack relentlessly.
Ty, pressure breaks in. He's going to run for it, and Ty able to turn nothing into a 9-yard gain, just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 with under 2:30 to play.
Yeah, very, very fortunate play there as Ty able to escape the rush and convert that into a big positive gain. 3rd and short for Herriman, that's doable. 3rd and long, they've really struggled with that all night.
Fifita once again in the backfield. But Ty's going to keep it, and he's got a first down and then some. Lowers the shoulder to get an extra 5 on the contact.
Yeah, he's about 5'11", almost 200 pounds. You can see that he runs with some authority. That one just an easy downfold block by the offensive line, allowing him a nice little edge on the outside, and he gets that first down, no problem.
Still 3 timeouts remaining for the Mustangs, and under 2 to play now. With all those timeouts, as I mentioned, it's a lot of time to work with if you're Herriman. Ball on the 36, Ty. How it throws it high. Oh, that could have been dangerous, Brian.
Yeah, and you can see that Syracuse is dropping deep into their zones. They really want to keep everything in front of them with only 1:50 on the clock. And if you're Ty, you can't afford to misfire on those ones. Make sure you're staying accurate. Stay within your mechanics. Trust your offensive line, and that Herriman offensive line really needs to give him some time to operate in the pocket right now.
One positive of any incompletion at this point does stop the clock. 2nd and 10. Ty with time, low throw to Fifita out of the backfield, and he can't hold on to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a low throw there, but still had an opportunity to hold on to it. You can see the frustration. He's just not able to reel it in. Nice job by the offensive line there. We call it cleaning the pocket.
Herriman offense.
That was a very nice clean pocket to operate out of. Hashtag lineman lunch out there on social media. Also, shout out to, I believe it was Nicole at the South Gate for letting me in tonight. I didn't have my press pass, so thank you.
Ty on 3rd and long, pressure, oh, in his face! A bevy of Syracuse defenders make the stop, and Coach Knight using a timeout with 1:38 to go.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't that Syracuse defense at the gate, because I wouldn't have gotten anywhere as you see that pass rush. Like a tidal wave of Titans toppling over Ty there in the backfield, and you said it, JT, Coach Knight, he's going to take that timeout. He wants one more. He needs one more on that scoreboard.
What do you think the key is, Brian, in the second half for the Mustangs trying to slow down this pass rush a little bit?
Score more points. But I think the biggest thing is they've lost the rhythm in the ground game, and I think a few quick turnovers has gotten that big lead up on the scoreboard. You lose your rhythm, right? You get out of your offensive sets, and we've seen a lot of self-inflicted plays cause issues for the Mustangs.
Yeah.
Come out in the second half with some rhythm, settle down, get the run game established. You saw some good things with Fangupo there early on in the power. Maybe try to get back to that. Just trying to catch up too fast with too much, and it's digging them deeper and deeper into the hole.
To your point about the Syracuse pass rush, because the run game's not a threat, they're able to just pin their ears back and just go. There's no hesitation waiting on the ground game overall, and good decision by Coach Knight to burn the timeout. 1:38 is a lot of time still, 21-3.
We'll get out of the way so you can slide right up there and pick your phone.
Punt is away. Mays gets it right at the 30. Trying to squeeze to the left side. Mays has a couple blockers, and Mays tiptoes out of bounds right past the 50, but we do got a flag.
Saw that one the whole way, JT. When you've got an electric playmaker like Mays back there, let him be Mays. Don't try to make him Hayes. Stay off the blocks in the back. he would have made the defender miss anyways. That's the beauty of having such an electric player like Mays. Unfortunately, it's a 10-yard penalty, and regardless of whether it was a big hit or a light touch, it was still a block in the back, clear as day. That's going to be one that next time they watch film, we're going to have to give Coach Knight a mint or something. Help keep him composed, because
originally they were going to start over on the across the 50. Now this Titans offense has to set up and start their drive from the 20. Long way to go, but they have the explosive players to make it happen. One of the rare times you'll see Blanton and Mays line up on the same side there at the bottom of your screen. Hopkins flanked by Bennett. Three-man rush for the Mustangs. They get it over to Mays. Mays follows the blockers and will step out of bounds just short of the 30.
Hopkins completes.
You love it when you see two of your best playmakers working, helping each other. See Mays blocking for Blanton on that one, and just the talent just oozes out of both of those players, doesn't it, JT? You talk about Division I level wide receivers. Those are two guys that I think could be playing on Saturdays. You can see why. The size, the speed, the agility. 6'3", 6'4". Really impressive.
120. Second and 1. Hopkins fakes the pass, stumps. Asiata hesitated for a second and then levels Hopkins.
Well, it was a great job by Hopkins to just get rid of the ball. As a bit of a broken play, trying to set up the wide receiver tunnel screen there. And listen, it was a valiant effort by Hopkins to stand in there as Ephraim Asiata, man. That kid has no quit. You talk about the recovery that he made. He's showing it how he plays the game and how he lives his life.
Yeah, 4 sacks for Asiata on the season. He was not going to get a chance to rush the pass here because they give it to Bennett, and he gets the first down on the run.
Boy, this has just been a fun first half, and outside of the 2 mistakes for Herriman, I think the scoreboard would be a lot closer. You're seeing some really great playmaking tonight.
Hopkins looking downfield. Asiata bearing down on him. Gets it to Blanton. Oh, and looks like we could have a late hit by Asiata, and one of the offensive linemen does not appreciate it.
Yeah, there's going to be a penalty flag on this one. Roughing the passer.
Personal foul, roughing the passer called on the Herriman defense. That penalty will be 15 yards tacked on to the end of the play.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue with Asiata's previous hit, but you know it's one that's going to get Syracuse fired up. Coach is talking in the ref's ear as well, and that time gets burned for 1 and ends up moving the Titans offense up to the 50.
Yeah, and listen, you know, when you play aggressively, you play hard, those are the kinds of mistakes that happen. It's a very inopportune time for Herriman. If you're Syracuse, you see it again.
Yeah, Asiata hunting down Hopkins, and Hopkins able to get out of bounds. Nearly a late hit that time, but they're just able to push him out of bounds there as Hopkins spent as much time as he could inbounds before stepping out.
Yeah, and again, we don't have the luxury of having spotters to help us out, so it's hard to see sometimes some of that far sideline action, but looked like it was McCray Parker flying over there.
Second and 10, no
try and lay a little extra hello, if you will, to Hopkins.
I know he was whistled for the roughing the passer, but we're really starting to see Asiata heat up, it feels like, Brian. He's just living in the backfield right now.
Well, he is, and he is one of those players that lives off of other people's fatigue. And he's a tireless worker. If you recognize the name Asiata, he is the son of Matt Asiata, former running back at Snow College and the University of Utah, Minnesota Vikings. You see him there just driving the tackle back into Hopkins, and Hopkins ends up one-hopping one in the direction of the wide receiver there. Stops the clock here. 49 seconds left as Syracuse trying to get another score on the scoreboard. And even if they can come away with a field goal at this point, JT, that's a really successful outcome for this drive.
Yeah. Ben Aker-Oates, the man tasked with having to contain Asiata. He's done a good job for most of the first half, but a little late right now. Asiata starting to break in. 49 seconds to go, 3rd and 10. Hopkins, quick throw to Mays. Mays with some space, and Mays gets through. And we'll have another flag come in, Brian. What'd you see that time? You called it.
I couldn't help myself pointing the finger out there as, you know, Jacob Prescott's played amazingly well all game. He doesn't just randomly fall to the turf, assisted there, I think, by a Syracuse Titan offensive player, dragged him down, and he wasn't able to make the tackle, or at least defer the offensive player on that one. Yeah. So, and this one's going to back up that Titan offensive unit. And again, you know, people are going to sit in the crowds and boo that one and not like the call. And Listen, JT, I don't like it when my doctor tells me I can't have donuts. But we got to listen to the people who are in charge.
Third down will be replayed.
Third and 20 from the 44.
Syracuse.
Do you expect the Titans to try to get this, or do you think they're just going to give it to Bennett and be content with the clock running out?
I mean, it's a tricky situation, right? Like, you've had a clean sheet all game long, no turnovers, but man, you've got some great elite receivers on the outside as you see Coach Knight helping the official wind the clock there.
Yeah. Play clock still up at 20, so more than enough time. And then finally we'll see who called the timeout. Herriman looks in confusion. Yeah. They'll say the Mustangs did, but Coach Pierce and his staff are saying they did not call a timeout.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point because the official called the timeout and sent a signal to it. But for Herriman, probably a lucky outcome for this one is they get a chance to get collected and really get the right call on 3rd and long here. The worst possible outcome for the Mustangs, JT, would be allowing a Titan conversion. For the Titans, they obviously want that. But
If it wasn't for a very questionable offensive pass interference call, this would be 28-3 right now. So even it being 21-3, they're in a good position. 30 seconds for them to work with. They'll be down to 1 timeout when they get the ball back. And you can tell they didn't want to use the timeout there, but now that they did, I'm curious if they'll try to be aggressive here or just, like you said, go into halftime with a lot of things they're going to want to try to change up to get working.
I think the biggest is the self-inflicted errors so far this game, right? It's been turnovers that's really penalized the Mustangs. And we've seen Syracuse have some mistakes as well. A few false starts here early on. The offensive pass interference was, I'm not even going to touch that in terms of whether it was questionable or not. We'll leave that to
Dusty. Dusty can comment on
that. Dusty and Jeff can let you know back in the studio.
We have all of our officials now talking things over. I wonder if they're talking about whether or not they're going to grant the, just call it, like I said, we didn't think Herriman called the timeout, but they granted the timeout. So I'm not sure what the discussion ongoing right now is, Brian.
I do wonder if maybe it has something to do with the clock because it was at 30 seconds. It's now been elevated back up to 40 seconds. So I think they're getting everybody online on the same page as we're seeing one of the officials run over and notify Coach Knight what's going on. Believe it or not, JT, he does not look pleased with what's happening right now.
He has not been happy pretty much all of the first half, despite his team having the massive lead. Good notice on you by the clock as well. That's your job, right, to notice the details. I got the easy job. I just say whatever happens right in front of me.
I thought it was just making jokes.
They're going to give it to Bennett. Bennett somehow broke a tackle, get it to the 50 before Asiata able to take him down. And we do see a timeout called by, I believe, the Mustangs trying to convert some clock finally. And I think that's Herriman's last one. We still don't know if they actually gave him that last one. I assume they did. So I think they're out of timeouts, but looks like they want to give Ty a chance here, Brian, if they did call it.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Herriman wants to try and get the ball back with 33 seconds and score. So I'm wondering if it's Syracuse calling the timeout, maybe trying to take one more option or get something going in terms of taking a chance from the 50-yard line. And to be honest, the defense has been stout for Syracuse all game long. 30 seconds left from the 50, that's plenty of time to get another 2 or 3 plays in, possibly get another field goal attempt. I know you got the block. It does look like Syracuse is going to send out the punt team here.
Yeah, Hopkins on the sideline with his helmet off, so the Titans are going to boot it away in a moment. But, yeah, we'll see what Herriman opts to do here. Not the half they were hoping for. 2 defensive touchdowns by the Titans in the first half. What an outstanding effort we've seen from them. They have allowed 20 points, barring any scores here, through 2.5 games of football so far this year.
Really impressive. And especially for the way high school football is nowadays, it is not the ground and pound, triple option offenses of old.
That is blocked. Mustang's going to have a little bit of life on it. They don't get great field position because they'll just track it down at about the 48. But the Herriman punt block could provide some momentum going to half, and you're going to be a little more aggressive now here, Brian.
That's right, JT. You've got an opportunity to take a couple shots down the field. Just a great job by Herriman tonight. I say it, special teams are special for a reason. Coach Pierce is a believer. Braxton Pearson, Zach Wiseman, doing the dirty work on special teams. Shout out, gentlemen. That's a big play. That might not be top 5 worthy, but that's a Moose Bingham top 5 worthy.
Moose Bingham top 5, and it could be one of the plays of the game if this turned into a touchdown or just points in general. 27 seconds left. Ty, he's got a pocket, steps up, looks downfield, and is tripped up at the last second. And Herriman did have one final timeout, so they will use it right there.
Boy, that's just a great job there by Syracuse and number 52, Riggin Hamlin, staying with it. He's 6 foot, all of 170 pounds on the defensive line, but you can see the toughness, the aggression, stick-to-it attitude. I love that kind of grit, JT. I love it. Fired up.
I like the Mustangs being aggressive, using the timeout despite the sack as well, because so this is still, it's a 21-3 game, so 18 points the difference. Still an opportunity here to potentially get on the board if you're Herriman with a touchdown, maybe even a field goal, but you gotta, just like you said, positivity going into the half, because you can, there's a lot of time left still in this game.
There's plenty of time left. You're getting the ball coming out at halftime. If nothing else, if you can get a chance to get your offense in rhythm just a little bit, capture some momentum. It's such a huge part of the game at the high school level. And I know we can't always quantify momentum, but it matters. It's like heart, integrity.
Oh, the Syracuse pass rush might be up to 5 sacks now. What an incredible first half for them as well. Ty alone in the backfield. He'll throw it quickly, has blockers to the outside, and a spinning effort to get out of the tackle. What an extra effort by Caden Hansen there to get a first down and make sure with 12 seconds left the clock stops. Looks like the Mustangs going to spike it real quick.
Yeah, there's just not enough time, I think, to get a playoff here. Sorry, as I slapped you in the arm there, JT. Getting excited, waving my towel around.
Ball spiked on first down, stopping the clock.
Had way too much caffeine today, I guess.
Ball spot at the 38.
Had like 3 phone calls with Dusty Lidster, so it's been a Friday for your guy. The good news, Herriman gets the spike. They've got 8 seconds left. On this one, I think you're probably just going to try and get an out or a quick hit play, and then get your special teams unit out there and try and get a field goal.
Already one made field goal for the Mustangs in the first half, wanting it all going deep. Hansen up top, and it's broken up. It was nearly intercepted, and that will do it for the first half as well. Look like the Mustangs are going to try to get either one, a second left on the clock, or...
And that's going to bring the first half to a close.
That will do it for the first half. So a big play made in the end zone to end our first half by Keller Facer. Had 2 interceptions against Brighton last week, but 21-3 will be our score going into the half. Brian, your thoughts on our first half?
Well, a really impressive performance by Syracuse to capitalize on the mistakes of the Mustangs here and get that 21-3 lead going into halftime. Herriman's going to need to go in the locker room, get settled down, figure out some things that they can do to develop some rhythm as they come out in the second half. They've got the horses to do it, JT. It's all about the mindset right now.
Huge first half for Mariner Richards, who has 2 touchdowns, and the pass rush of the Titans has gotten home time and time again. So that will do it for our first half. 15 minutes till we're back with you for the second. 21-3. Syracuse leads Herriman on KSL Sports Rewind. Welcome back into Syracuse High School, where the Titans in front after a dominant first half, 21-3. JT Wistersill and Brian Brown here with you, and what has just been a sensational Syracuse performance on both ends of the field. 21-3 the difference, and Thompson set to boom it away. The Mustangs offense trying to come to life on this drive. They've had 1 successful drive so far, ended with a field goal. Hansen blasted, booming hit that time. Laying the wood to get the second half underway that time.
It's a big old hit from number 36.
Was number 36.
Nicario.
Brian, what are you looking to see out of Herriman here?
You guys do a better job of blocking than you did on that play, but really we talked about it before the halftime, JT. If you're Herriman, it's about finding a rhythm offensively. Syracuse has been the aggressor the entire game, and you saw it even there on special teams with the big hit. They've made Herriman pay every time they've gotten any kind of gain. If you're Herriman, you need to try and establish something on the ground. Anyway.
Yeah, it feels like they're definitely under 30 yards rushing. Ty throws it to the outside, and able to gain 3 yards is Hatch.
And you see the Syracuse defense, what they want to do is they want to pressure you from the middle, be aggressive with their defensive line, force you to the outside where they've got that fast closing secondary. They're comfortable sitting back in that zone because they know that they can close quickly.
Ty keeps it, And once again, the Titans on top of him. Brian, one thing that's really just been amazing to watch, in my opinion, is how well Syracuse has tackled in space on those receiver screens.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. It's a very disciplined unit, and they return a lot of experience to that defensive side of the football. We were talking during the break. They did lose a lot in terms of Pula and some of the other defenders up front, but it's much more about replacing or reloading players than it is anything else here at
First
Syracuse.
down for the Mustangs on the nice grab on the sideline that time made by Hatch.
Yeah, great job moving the chains there, and I said they need to get something done on the ground, but they're finding ways to work those edges and get those short pickups every bit as effective.
You know, it's going to be hard to come back from 21-3 deficits, but this is a Herriman offense that in the first week of the season against Bountiful scored 21 points in the third quarter. Fifita gets tangled up with a couple of Syracuse Titans and Mustangs, gains of 2.
Yeah, and a great job there by Syracuse, setting the edge, forcing Fifita to make a decision, right? You want to get those runners out of their natural comfort, make them make decisions, force them to hesitate, and they did a good job of doing that, negating what could have been a bigger gain.
10-15 to go, 2nd and 8 from the 34. Ty keeps it again and dives ahead for 4. Once again, the Titans linebackers coming in like heat-seeking missiles.
Yeah, a little counter GT there as you say, the left side of that Herriman line pulling, getting out, creating a nice little crease. Ty able to slip inside of it and get a positive gain. But again, Syracuse is all about closing quickly. You see the speed at which they fly around. That game against Brighton looked a little bit sloppier. Not tonight.
3rd and 4. Ty with time has a first down as he once again finds his man Taylor Hatch, already his 3rd catch of the second half.
What a great job by Ty as well with the accurate throw. Those slants can be a little bit scary. We saw Chase Mosley last week operate extremely efficiently within that, right? Now we're seeing Ty find a little bit of rhythm with his throws. If he starts to get hot, JT, that's where things get very interesting, because when he plays within a rhythm, he can be electric. You talked about it, 5 touchdowns in the game already this year.
Hansen and Hatch, a pair of receivers who've made a couple of grabs tonight, but been really prolific through 2 games. Both of them over 145 yards receiving. We'll see if they make a game-changing plays. Both players with multiple touchdowns. They'll give it to Fifita, and he is not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Physical tackle made on that left sideline by Pula.
I'll give Fifita credit on that one. He did a great job of avoiding the initial surge, I should say, from Syracuse, as they had him stopped dead to rights for a loss. He's able to get the ball at least a couple yards closer to that first, or what I should say is the original line of scrimmage. I'm getting all tongue-tied up here.
2nd and 11 from the 45. One more time, Brian?
Too much Titan.
Yeah. Four-man rush. Ty steps up in the pocket, throws it. Hansen had it for a moment. What a pass breakup by Keller Facer. The senior punches it out.
Yeah, Facer is a really good player, disciplined, great with his technique, and see it come to play there as he's able to knock the ball loose. Ty with a nifty little move to get free and get that ball out there, throws a rocket. Just not able to finish off the completion.
We talked about it in the first half, but Facer had 2 interceptions last week against Brighton, and crucial in that 23-17 win that Syracuse had. Ty has some room in front of him, launches one to the sideline, and what a strong catch is made right at the first down marker. On 3rd and 11, it's going to be 4th and 1 coming up after that grab by Hansen.
Boy, what an amazing job of fitting a ball into a tight window over there by Ty. Syracuse brought the pressure, and he stayed focused and locked in on his receiver on that narrow side of the field. We call it the boundary. Able to get the completion, and it looks like Herriman's going to go for this one.
Feeling quarterback run here, Brian?
I mean, that's what's been most successful for them so far tonight. You'll see what Syracuse does defensively.
Ty keeps, and he's got enough.
Yeah, just simple QB draw there. Again, you see Syracuse trying to bring the defenders from the edge, trying to cut off at the point of attack, but Ty is so quick, able to hit the hole fast and move the chains.
He's their leading rusher on the game tonight. 21-3 the deficit, 8:10 to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10 from the Syracuse 41. Ty has to grab that snap with one hand, and another strong quarterback run up the gut. It's a gain of 9.
And that's where you're seeing the rhythm start to settle in, right? When he can make plays with his feet on the ground in the running game, it allows him to stay a little more patient, a little more settled in the backfield. Ty, he's the rare quarterback where he kind of likes to take a hit.
Yes.
Helps him settle down. He's an aggressive player.
He took a lot of them in the first half, too. Ty keeps it here, and oh, the ball is loose! Titans on top of it! Syracuse with the huge turnover! The fumble recovered by Martin! Wow!
Great job by Martin to keep eyes aware. Great job by the heart of that Syracuse defense to knock the ball loose. For once, it wasn't Mariner Richards who recovers it, but a terrific job by the Syracuse defense, getting their hands in there, punching at that football, creating another turnover, and it's another good drive that ends in conundrum for the Herriman Mustangs.
You could make a case this should be a 17-21 game right now, with Herriman turning it over twice into Syracuse territory. Tough break for them. Mays in motion, but they give it instead to the ground to Bennett, and Bennett wrestled down. You know, this Herriman defense, they've only given up 1 touchdown overall, Brian.
They've been very stout for most of the game, and you know, even blocked a field goal attempt at one point in time. I believe blocked a punt as well. Or was that may have been Syracuse. I'm getting all mixed up here. There's been so many.
No, Herriman, you're correct. Herriman blocked a punt right before the end of the first half.
So many impressive plays so far this game, but again, we talked about it. It's minimizing those mistakes, and Herriman has had 2 critical ones that have ended up costing them on the scoreboard.
Syracuse scored a touchdown on the first drive. Get it out to Thompson here, trying to set up the wide receiver screen, and hats flying to the football for the Mustangs.
Yeah, there's our guy Prescott out there again, doing a great job. I love this Herriman defense. These are 2 great defenses.
Yes, they are.
Going head-to-head, JT. It could very easily be 6-3, 7-3. Again, we talk about those 2 critical mistakes. And just a great job there by, I believe it's either Lincoln Wilberger or Brody Bennett, whichever number 4 it is.
I believe it should be Wilberger. I think he has
Wilberger
more
doing
tackles
a great
on the
job out
season.
there. Jacob Prescott as well.
3rd and 8. Hopkins rolling to the right. Scott Time keeping his eyes peeled downfield, and that was nearly intercepted, but I don't think he got his feet in bounds. In fact, that will be the call, out of bounds to the punt unit coming on for the Titans.
Yeah, nevertheless, a great job by that Herriman defense closing on the play, getting hands on footballs, generating some momentum. Quick 3 and out for that Syracuse offense, and you can feel the rhythm of this game starting to change, right? Great defensive stop by Herriman on the turnover on downs. Quick change of possession. Now they get the hands back in their offense with more opportunity to keep that rhythm going that they found earlier. Again, it's just minimize those mistakes. Get this one close. And I'll try not to slap you so much.
Titans get this one away cleanly, although some Mustangs were bearing in on it. Fail catch wisely called for by Hansen right off the 25. And you know, Brian, if you're the Mustangs, you were able to move the ball on the last drive, and it had success at different points in the game. Even though the score's 21-3 with 6:04 left, they're not out of this.
No, they're not out of it, JT. In fact, they're very much in it. It's a 3-score game, but I tell you what.
What?
It's getting a little chilly out here, JT.
I know.
And when it starts to get chilly, you know what time it is.
What time is it?
It's time for Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather and watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLUOutfitters.com. Enter REWIND for $20 off. Never miss the moments.
Mustangs make a quick throw there to I. Gets it away quickly. Mentioned the offensive output at different points. The Mustangs in this season, they've been explosive at various points, but just those self-inflicted wounds have really hurt themselves tonight so far. 21-3 with 5:30 to go. Gain of 3 on the short pass.
And then Syracuse has been willing to sacrifice those shorter passes out on the edges, knowing what their defense is capable of doing on 3rd and long situations.
4 turnovers in the game for the Mustangs. They go to the ground here. Getting his first carry of the game is Larson, but he's dragged down quickly by the Titans' fierce front.
Yeah, and again, that's part of this quick front that they have. They play fierce, they play quick, they play
Brought down
aggressive.
immediately by
As much as they have those big road graders up front for Herriman,
Brings up
those shifty
third down
guys for that
and
defensive
6
front in
for the
Syracuse are able to
Mustangs.
avoid the blocks and make those tackles in short yard situations.
3rd and 5. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the bottom of your screen. 4-man rush. To looks downfield, and it's intercepted. Oh, it was dropped. It was right in the hands of a Titan, and he wasn't able to hold on to it.
Yeah.
And once again, Syracuse forces a punt.
Well, it looked like Tatum Martin almost had his second turnover of the game as that one bounces off of his hands.
Titan turnover.
Tough one as he
Be 4th
hustles
down
over to the sideline with a little bit of
for the Mustangs.
exasperation as a love lost. You know, those defensive players, they just love turnovers, JT. It's so mean of them.
Mays back to return the punt in a moment. This one lofted in the air. It's not going to go very far. Good decision by Mays to call for the fair catch, and he'll bring it in right at the 35. And, you know, we mentioned it, Brian. This Syracuse offense, got to imagine going into next week, they're going to want to mount a few more successful drives as they've only crossed the 50, I believe, twice tonight. Overall.
They definitely need to find some success, JT, and if you're looking for some success in your own dealings, contact Heidemann and Associates. They're a flat-rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest you.
How about you demonstrating the 2-minute offense there, getting that ad read in before the snap. Bennett. Draped down from behind. Asiata makes the tackle.
Well, tackles for loss are as good as sacks in my world, and notch another one there for Ephraim Asiata as Fat Boy comes off the edge. The only thing that could keep him out is a Windows from Advanced Windows USA. Shout out to Nate Orchard and the crew over there.
Asiata showing off this tremendous speed and athleticism off the edge.
Yeah, you have to think former Ute Nate Orchard loves watching Ephraim Asiata. And the son of Ute great Matt Asiata, he is a fun player.
They'll try to get home here. They run away from him this time. Hopkins waiting, looking downfield, and that one's deflected. Nice job getting a hand on it that time by Wilberger.
Hopkins pass
Yeah, you see some aggressive attacking defenders there from Herriman as there were multiple players both in the lane and nearby that football. Hopkins, who was so successful, so calm, so collected during the first half, has been on the run almost the majority of the second half here. It's a lot harder to find those electric receivers when you're running for your life.
21-3, 4:01 to go. Titans in 3rd and 12, and the Mustangs got all the bodies they can on the line of scrimmage, and they will bring 5 of them. One-on-one opportunity. Blanton trying to make the back shoulder grab, but he's out of bounds, and no flags are coming in.
Yeah, and Blanton pleading his case there. Looked like there was a lot of contact there. The defender didn't quite have his head around. Again, not always the indicator of a penalty necessarily, but a lot of frustration on both sides of the ball right now from both teams. And when you get into these stalemates right here and things have been clicking early, this is where you start to see teams lose their calm and control.
Jacob Prescott with exceptional coverage that time to force the incompletion. Mustangs go after it, but the punt gotten away cleanly. Hansen fields it off the bounce at about the 23. Hansen crosses the 30 before he's dragged down. And once again, and already for the 3rd time in the second half, we're going to see the Mustangs take the field offensively.
Yeah, and it's a good sign for Herriman as they've had some good rhythm offensively, able to move the ball a little bit. But again, it's those unforced errors that have really cost them all game long. We'll have to see if they can complete a drive here. We have yet to see them find pay dirt. You have to think those Mustangs are running for it.
Ty looking to topple the Titans defense on this drive and get one into the end zone. 21-3, 3:45 to go. 1st and 10 from the 33. Ty gonna keep it. Blockers in front of him, but taken down from behind. Exceptional effort by the Titans.
But great job there of getting off the block and causing just a pile up, and Ty not able to work his way through it. Especially when you've got a big lead blocker out there. Impressive effort from this Syracuse defense, but we've been praising them all game long, JT. They do a fantastic job reading their keys and playing to their technique.
Left hash now, 2nd and 9. Ty looks left, gets it over. Oh, but it's dropped. Tough break that time for Noah Moley.
Noah had the ball secured, started to turn before he really had it in possession, slipped a little bit as well. A lot of action going on. But bottom line, not able to complete the catch, and that puts Herriman in 3rd and long here.
Here we go.
You have to wonder. They don't try to get Ty outside the pocket a little bit and allow him the opportunity to make his legs work to try and get a conversion.
Mustangs did move the chains on 3rd and long in their first drive of the second half. They'll try to do so again here. The blitz is picked up. Ty with time in the pocket, wants it all, looking deep and just overshoots Malloy.
Yeah, he had Malloy out there deep, double coverage, but threw it to where only his guy could get to it, but Malloy just not quite quick enough. You can see the speedy number 13 as he hustles back, not able to make it happen. You like the idea of taking a shot downfield. Herriman's got to get some kind of explosive plays. And just you have to wonder on 3rd and long if that's the best play. And we were talking about it during the break at halftime, right? When do these quarterbacks get the live reps to where they can really hone in on their decision making? And the early season for Ty, I bet we see him develop throughout the year. That's when he makes a different choice on.
Punters galore in our second half so far. Mustangs on to boot it away. Mays back for it. He'll have blockers in front of him. Gets it across the 30, and a really late flag comes in before Mays is wrestled down just past the 40.
Yeah, and I understand why the official has to throw the flag. There's a Herriman defender that goes to the ground, and from that angle it looks like it was a block in the back, but again, it has been a sloppy, disorganized second half here as nobody really finding a rhythm. I guess people call that good defense. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's been some really good defensive plays, right? Some breakups, although we did see a dropped interception already as well. And some of the wounds self-inflicted, right? Herriman driving the first drive of the second half and ends up fumbling it, letting it get away from them. So missed opportunities for both sides here. Syracuse looking to put together their first successful drive in a little bit. 21-3, the difference at the moment. Hopkins drops back and gets it to Mays. What a beautiful route.
Yeah, just a great catch, great execution there. Looked like Mays had it going for himself the whole entire time. He was looking over the sideline early for the signal. Actually, that was Sean Blanton making the catch on that one, number 3. Nevertheless, does a great job of securing the catch and getting first.
Hopkins decides to keep this one. Asiata bearing down on him, but wrestled out of bounds that time by Prescott. Oh, and really a late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that's going to be a late hit out of bounds. It's a pretty hefty collision there as Hopkins tried to duck his head. And again, I'm not sure that you're outside the pocket. You're a running quarterback. You are a live offensive player, so I'm wondering if maybe that tackle is a little too high and there's going to be some targeting as we see the officials debate this one here.
It will be a personal foul for the late hit there.
Got a late hit out of bounds called against
tough break that time for the Mustangs.
That'll tack 15 on to the end of that play and give the Titans an automatic first down.
Defensively, they've been so strong for so much of today.
At the 49-yard line.
Yeah, this has been a really tough, hard-hitting affair the entire game, JT, and you're seeing it there. Just playing on the edges, trying to make a big play. Goes a little bit too far, and you're outside the lines. Best to keep the players safe, especially at this level.
Hopkins under center, faked the give, looks downfield, no one home.
And again, they've been trying to roll him out a lot, trying to get him out. Again, they did such a good job of allowing him to throw from clean lanes on the first half. That seems to have evaporated whatever changes or adjustments Herriman's made. They've really done a good job of closing that up, and so he's had to bounce outside, and there's just nothing out there as well.
Hopkins helping get his teammates lined up. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 49 with 2:21 to go in our third quarter. 21-3, still the difference. The quick throw, in between the hands of Thompson. What was the word you used, Brian? A sloppy second half so far?
Yeah. Just a calamity of errors over here You see Thompson had that one like he was ready to go to the end zone. And just forgot one thing, JT. Sneaky Biskin.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I don't know why we still call it a pigskin. It's leather.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still can be slippery.
There's always some outdated terms.
Yeah.
It's an old game, right, at this point?
Game of inches.
Hopkins. Faced with the 3-man rush. Throws it over to Blanton, and Blanton can't haul that one in. Nothing going the Titans' way, or honestly the Mustangs' way right now offensively.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one got tipped or something like that. Didn't look like Hopkins had a clean release on it. Throws it just a little bit short. He's been so good on connecting with Blanton all game long. You see him walk off the field frustrated that he didn't get that one where it needed to be, and Syracuse is going to have to kick this one away. We'll see if next one to score wins.
Yeah. If it wasn't 21-3, it'd be interesting to see. Hansen lets it bounce past him. Is this one going to be down inside the 5? It will be a booming punt that time for the Titans. Tanner Perrone booms it.
Great job by that Syracuse special teams, the punt coverage team getting down there, catching the ball off the bounce. Nice job hitting the lob wedge there from the punter. And JT, we've seen a lot of that from these guys who punt here locally. I need to start lobbying for them to join me in some of the golf tournaments around here. I'm getting a group of ringers going. Punters and kickers, man. Some of the best golfers on the team, always.
Yes. Like I said, always deceptive ones.
Offensive line, a distant last.
Mustangs offensive line going to try to prove Brian wrong on this possession here, looking for some positivity. To gives to Fifita, and Fifita nearly taken down for a safety, but it looks like they'll stop him short at the 1. It's a loss of at least 3, Brian.
Yeah, and Syracuse has been all over that play all game long. Fifita, normally a very productive back, has just been completely muffled throughout the course of this game. They've had him well contained. Now Tai will be operating out of his own end zone. Scary territory for Herriman.
Tai fakes the throw. He gets it out of his own end zone, but not much after that.
And gets that one out to about the 6-yard line. Again, that quarterback counter that they've been running has been successful in getting them at least a couple yards. Allows them a little bit of space to breathe here. But if you're Tai, the key in this one, JT, throw the ball away. Right? We've seen it twice already this game. He can't make a mistake down here. It will be way too costly.
But the game we've seen so far, too, from the defensive line. We talk about Hamblin, Vadia, Pierce, Pula, we mentioned. Everyone's stepping up so far, and they're looking to get home on 3rd down right here. 3rd and 10. Just over a minute to play in our 3rd quarter. Tai, they send a blitz. He looks and has Hansen, but Hansen looks to be short of the 1st down. Oh, though, he's right on it. That is, they'll give him the 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like from that far angle that he might have been short, but I think where he caught the ball actually crossed that 15-yard line marker. That'll give Herriman a 1st down. Again, no instant replay in high school football. We like these games under 3 hours.
Are you sure the officials like them under 3 hours?
Yeah, what am I saying? What am I talking about here? I do. I think the fans do.
Pass deflected at the line that time by Haney overall.
Knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
You know, we saw a defense last year in the Skyridge Falcons that, outside of allowing a touchdown the first week of the season, held a lot of teams scoreless. So we've seen teams really shut down offenses before, but what Syracuse has done 3 weeks into the season defensively has been very impressive, Brian.
It has, and you talked about it. They replaced a lot of their front 4, but what they've replaced them with is aggressive, fast players as you see Tai goes down there in a cloud of Titan defenders.
Did you say aggressive and fast?
It's almost like they were reading my words.
Yes.
The announcer's blessing as we've started calling it.
Carter Child and Hoyt Hua. That's going to be a loss of 5.
Hoyt an underclassman, but he's been really impressive. Again, we talked about that position, the edge player evolving. You either want those long, tall, stout defenders or the quick, lean, twitchy defenders. And as this quarter ends, you see that Syracuse defense come off, and they've done a great job tonight.
We're going into the fourth. It's a 21-3 lead. Titans on top of the Mustangs. Fourth quarter action about to begin at Syracuse High School, where the Titans are in the process of taming the Mustangs. JT Wistersill and Brian Brown with you. And Herriman faces a 3rd and 15, and their offense has really struggled all game long trying to get right here, Brian.
Let's show the Mustangs what
And the
we're all
Herriman deep in
about.
their own territory. This is like we talked about before the break, JT. Do not make a mistake here. Just play it safe. You need to live to play another play.
Syracuse brings 5. It's picked up for a moment. Ty gets out of it. Keeps his eyes peeled downfield, looking, waiting, throws across his body, and it's brought in, but short of the first down as he gets it to Hansen.
Yeah, it's short of the first down, but it's short of a miracle that they even got positive yardage on that one. Ty doing a great job. That's the kind of improvement that you want to see from your quarterback, right, JT? Stayed calm, rolled out of the pocket, kept his eyes downfield, not trying to do too much, found someone open, give him a few more yards, allow your punt team a little bit more extra space to operate, a few more extra yards to try and flip this field. And your defense has played outstanding in the second half. Maybe they can create a turnover here.
Titans, I don't think they got a hand on it, but it was a low-hanging punt. It's going to bounce directly to Mays perfectly. Mays just going to be content to get brought down at the 35 as the Mustangs defense trots out once again.
Yeah, and that's one of those situations where a player like Mays kind of has free range to do whatever he wants back there, but kind of wonder if you'd rather see him just let that one continue to bounce and save yourself the headache and save him the pounding.
It probably won't make much of a difference based on what the score is, but going back to the punt we saw from Tanner Perrone to down Herriman inside the 5, if they have the same success they did on the last one, move it a little bit, they might end up going for that on 4th down and short yardage. Instead, Hopkins is able to get a completion, and now you get a Syracuse offense that just got a 1st down and starting to drive.
Yeah, and they badly needed something to get this offense going. Does a great job of Hopkins finding his receiver. Brock Hopkins out there, the senior, just 5'8", 150, but not afraid to go in the teeth of that Herriman defense and go get a catch. Now he gets to go get a drink.
We saw this Syracuse offense very content. We see them right now very content taking the time. Early on, they were very much up-tempo. The pitch to Kobe Bennett on the outside goes for 5.
Just a nice job of getting chunk yardage. Again, Syracuse has done a good job of finding their explosive plays here and there. When they're closer to the end zone, they're content to just get those 5-7 yard gains and really allow this offense to operate. The longer Herriman stays on the field defensively, the better it is for the Titan offense.
It's been a very quiet night so far for Mays and Blanton since a couple of the flash plays they made early on in the game. It'll be interesting to see if they can get those players going late in the 4th here.
Uh-oh. Yeah, and Syracuse has done a good job using that orbital motion to try and draw the Herriman defenders. It looks like on that one they were able to do it again, convert that one for a 1st down. But you mentioned the explosive plays with Blanton and Mays, and then they have been negated a little bit. A lot of it has just been this Herriman defensive front has ratcheted up the pressure a ton.
Yes, Herriman defense has done a good job, and look, they're going to face some tough offenses in Region 3 with Bingham, who we know what Corner Canyon obviously is as well. They fake the high snap to Bennett, who Bennett gets it, and he's inside the 30.
Yeah, I don't know that it was necessarily the high snap fake as much as it was the great blocking up front. And Bennett, you see, we talk about him being kind of the thunder. Had a little bit of lightning in those shoes as he squirted through the defense and gets a 1st down. I guess lightning doesn't squirt at shoots, huh?
Yeah. Syracuse looking for some more positive offensive output in the second half. Could be in the process of gathering it here. Under 9:30 to go now in this one. Hopkins looks left all the way, going up top. Blanton, and it's picked off. What a miraculous interception. We do have flags down, but at the moment,
I have no idea what this flag is going to be.
I'm a McKell with the pick, though.
Yeah, I think that's going to get negated by the way this. So the flag is in the middle of the field, JT, not near the action of the play, right? It's there on the far hash at about the 7-8 yard line. So I have to wonder if maybe, we're going to wave this flag off, and it is going to be an interception for Herriman. I have no idea what the official initially saw.
That
But
flag is waved
the
off.
Syracuse faithful
It'll be
not
an interception
happy
in
with
the
that
end zone
one.
With a touchback.
Everything is not awesome for Syracuse right now.
No.
After that,
So
for them.
sorry, Titans fans.
They look up at the scoreboard, they feel a little bit better because it would take a Herculean effort for Herriman to get back into this one. But
Mostly what I'm sad about, JT, is we didn't get an opportunity to call an amazing play. That's a great job by that Herriman defense to get a turnover, get the ball back in their offense's favor. Now get back out on the field with an opportunity to go down the field and score. Attaway Mustangs. We're gonna play both sides. Sorry, Titans. Yay, Mustangs, right?
yes,
We are unbiased here at
we are
Rewind.
the definition of unbiased. We both. I needed a GPS to get here. I know that.
Both teams fought hard.
Yeah.
The GPS and my driving skills.
Coach Knight still frustrated over the called interception, and even more frustrated at the time it's taking them to discuss it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't necessarily blame Coach Knight in this one because it was a strange flag to start with, and I just I would rather the officials wave it off in those situations, right?
Yeah.
And get things right, get it explained, and I think that's what he needs more than anything right now is an explanation of what's been going on. You see him nodding there. Probably not agreeing with the call, but acknowledging the fact that the referee at least had an explanation for him.
21-3, 9:20, the amount of time remaining. Ty fakes the give, gonna keep it once again, and on the draw, a nice gain on first down.
Boy, he's so great when he gets downhill. And when that offense is able to create a crease for him, he is terrific at just shooting through that.
How do you think this Herriman team is going to do in Region 3 once Region 2, once Region play begins?
Yeah, it's going to be a competitive region, and I think part of it is just this team is still kind of young. As you see a nice, nifty little move there from number 2 for Herriman.
Yeah, nice job that time by Stilson.
Yeah.
Taylor Hatch on the reception from
Able to get the first down, and
ball's going to be marked down.
again, great home crowd here at Syracuse.
Yes.
They were here early. They've been loud all game. The student section is vibrant over there, decked out in the camo.
Pack student section too.
Yeah. I'm sure an homage to Hill Air Force Base nearby.
Ty dropped again, a coverage sack. Getting home that time was Hamlin.
Yeah, great job by Hamlin. It's his second big play of the day. Had one in the first half. Younger brother. He's getting himself a big plate at Thanksgiving dinner this year. Great job, young man.
For
Sack
the
attack.
Mustang offense.
Sack lunch?
Just over 8 to play here. Second and call it 15 right now. Ty, they send a blitz in. He wasn't ready for it, but somehow steps up, makes the man miss. Looking downfield, and it's intercepted! What a grab deep that time by Facer. And Facer's gonna cross the 40 between being pushed out of bounds. Facer tracked it all the way and hauls it in for the INT.
Boy, great job by Keller. Facer playing almost center field out there, caught it like it was a punt. And if you're Frederick Tye, you love the idea, not so much the execution there. He knows he's got the blitz coming, throws it to the deep receiver, just outthrows his own player, and that's a terrific turnover for this Titan unit. Again, for Herriman, it's those unforced, well, I guess that's a forced error, but it's the mistakes that have really hurt them so much this game.
Tye's 4th turnover of the night, I believe. 21-3 the difference here. Titans looking for some offensive momentum, but not allowing anything to get past him that time was Dalen Ellison.
Ellison has been really fun to watch tonight. Just swallows up the running back in the backfield. TFLs are sacks in my world, and that's another TFL tackle for loss for this Herriman unit.
It's going to be loss of
Herriman unit, Herriman squad.
11.
As we mentioned earlier, though, Brian, I'm just so impressed with this Herriman defense overall because they have some tough offense they're going to play the rest of the year, but they've shown the potential to compete. They double-team Asiata, so he's not able to get in. Blanton makes the grab. It takes 2 Mustangs to drag him down, short of the first down.
Boy, you love his competitive, internal competitiveness and the effort to try and get additional yards. Breaks the first tackle, then gets dragged down by another defender, but he's still reaching out to get it. He has been limited here in the second half. There's no doubt about it, JT. Both he and DJ Mays not getting near the amount of targets that they wish they were getting. But that's a credit to this Herriman secondary as well. They've really tightened up the coverage.
Hopkins gives to Bennett. Bennett once again Ellison making plays. How about Ellison and Asiata making a push for one of the best pass rush tandems in the state?
They are one of the best 1-2 punches that I've seen. They're just a really fun group to watch. And it's almost like they're competing with each other a little bit there, right? Anything you can do, I can do better. As they force the punt here from Syracuse, and so much momentum off the turnover, and just to get nothing out of that if you're Syracuse, that's a real heartbreaker.
Yeah, in our opinion, Syracuse should have 14, right? We disagreed with the offensive pass interference, but especially in the second half, and outside of those 2 drives, they just haven't been able to sustain drives really overall. Brian, is that a sign for concern going forward?
Well, as long as you're able to maintain the lead, and really Herriman hasn't been able to get anything going offensively enough to where it's cost them. But you don't want to. Ooh.
Yeah, Hansen ends up his foot back in his own end zone, going to get dragged down. Nice job coming in to finish off the tackle that time and make the stop by the Titans. But yeah, going back, Brian, I was not even talking about this game, but for the season in general going forward, how do you think Syracuse is going to make adjustments and try to sustain more offense in future games?
It's about carrying over what you were doing in the first half into the second. There's really not that much of a difference now. They like to try and disguise what they're doing, and you can call it trickeration, you can call it gimmicky stuff. It's not that. That's the entirety of offense, right? You want to disguise what you're doing so you can get yardage. What it's all about is executing on that in the second half the way you did in the first, and having something to pivot to as teams make their adjustments.
5:40 to go here. Ty back on the field, throws the quick pass to Fifita, and Fifita can't get through. Once again, the Titans defensive backs not allowing those wide receivers of the Mustangs to move them an inch, Brian.
Yeah, and Fifita is almost like the turf monster got him there as he tried to cut and just had his legs come out from underneath him there. And been a tough night for him. Thought he had a crease there for a minute, just not able to capitalize on it. And Ty is going to have to get those yards somehow now.
They fake the run, get it to the outside to Hansen. Hansen breaks a couple tackles and has a Mustangs first down.
Yeah, and that's a great job of Ty finding a guy who can get those yards. And Hansen, he's a nifty runner, able to dance around multiple Syracuse defenders there. Nice little bit of separation there is with those aggressive blocks at the line of the scrimmage. I think often fans watch those and want penalties if a player goes down or if there's a lot of fighting, but that's what blocking's all about, especially there where it's on the line of scrimmage. I know it's on the edges, but
once again, the Titans drop Fifita for a gain of maybe a yard.
Yeah, and not a big gain there, but I like the effort from him a lot more. Absorbs the initial contact, but keeps those legs driving, bounces the outside. Eventually, he's going to break through on one of those. I know it. Syracuse doesn't want it.
Yeah. Ty steps up, and once again, Titans able to take him down. Credit that tackle and potential sack based on how you want to stop it overall. That time was Pula.
On the tackle. Gain of about 4 on second down. Going to bring up
Pula's been really active all night long, Brian. I've been really impressed with him, and we've highlighted, but just in general, I mean, the Titans defense, obviously, they've all been exceptional.
Some noise.
Yeah, it's been a very impressive team effort from that group, but here on third down, they need to get something.
Ty steps up, throws across his body, has a completion. And that ball, that ends up out to the 45. Shaken up for a moment, but still making the grab and moving the chains. There is Stilson.
Yeah, Stilson does a nice job of sitting down in the center of that zone. His quarterback rolls outside, able to find him there. And he cuts back against the grain, gets a few additional yards there. Love that yak, JT. If you have first down and more. Great job there by Stilson, number 2.
Herriman scored over 30 in their first 2 games of the season. Today, at least at the moment, just 3. Could this finally be a drive to get a touchdown? Maybe, but either way, it's a credit to this Titans defense that has really held them in check. 1st and 10 from the 45. Ty with time. Gets it out quickly, and a tackle made around the helmet there, but no flags thrown overall. That was Larson on the reception.
Yeah, nice little swing pass out there to Larson. Haven't called his name a ton tonight, but you can see that they're trying to get anything going. The sophomore running back. It's a nice little 5-yard gain. We're in 2nd and Brown Bear.
Yeah, 2nd and 5 from the 49. Ty Makes his way through the pocket, trying to run and get a first down, and ends up getting taken down just short of the first down marker.
It's a positive gain, but he's been running for his life for about the last 3 drives, it feels like, JT. And that Syracuse Titan front has been super aggressive about getting into the backfield. They've done a good job of subbing guys in, continuing to put the pressure on Herriman.
Ty gonna step up again. He's gonna try and scramble, shakes the defender off him, has a man wide open in the middle of the field, and it's Hansen who goes in the air before being tackled. He's got it to the 25.
Boy, just a really impressive job by Ty on that one as he stays with the play. Wisely ducks back behind the line of scrimmage rather than trying to get out on his own. Finds Hansen downfield, and Hansen makes some magic happen out there as he gets the first down and more.
Feels like we're seeing a matchup between 2 of the top defensive fronts in the state overall, and Ty's improvisational skills are really going to aid him throughout the season in Region 3 play, Brian.
Yeah, what you call improvisation is actually Ty trying to get some self-preservation out there, it seems like.
Well played. And a first down. You mentioned we haven't seen him a lot tonight, but Isaac Larson making an impact with that reception.
Yeah, you can see the young sophomore is very shifty, has some real athletic ability out there. We like to call it twitch. If you're into the scouting side of things, he's showing a little twitch. My old wide receivers coach Carl Harry used to call it sprinkling a little sugar. He's able to get the first down, and Herriman up and ready to roll.
We got a timeout by the Titans, trying not to surrender their hefty advantage they got right now, 21-3. They took a timeout. We're gonna keep it right here as Brian, you have a message for us, correct?
Yeah, if sometimes in life you have to take a timeout, JT, and if you need help with that timeout, you're gonna call Heidemann and Associates. They're a flat rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the office nearest you. And JT, taking a drink of water. Right now, we don't want to think about cold weather, but when it does get cold, you know what you're going to turn to?
What do I turn to?
Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag, has you covered during those chilly days and nights. Worry no more about the weather. Watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. That's IGLU. Go to iglooOutfitters.com and enter REWIND for $20 off. That's promo code REWIND for $20 off. Never miss the moments, just like we're not going to let you miss any of the moments here in the game tonight.
Speaking of, action about to get underway once again. Ty, 1st and 10 from the 13. It's kind of a misdirect snap. Nice play that time. Larson can't break free as the tackle is made. Wow, Hamblin with the ankle tackle.
He's been so good tonight. We talked about it. He's undersized, not huge, just 6 foot, 170 pounds, but you can see how he uses his speed and his strength to be a playmaker out there.
2nd and 8. Ty looks to the right, trying to hit Hansen on the quick slant. Hansen stood up by the Syracuse defense, but inside the 5.
Boy, I thought Hansen was going to be able to get that one across the goal line, but great job by that Titan defense and that secondary to close quickly, keep him out. At this point in time, just Herriman threatening as close as they've been all night long here as they're at the 3-yard line.
For the Mustangs.
If Titans can hold here, that'll be huge for them.
1st and goal from the 3, just over a minute to play. Ty, both backs flanking him. He's going to keep it himself and has the walk-in score off the right. Herriman in the end zone for the first time tonight.
Well, Ty goes to Frederick on that one as he's able to find the end zone. Get that on the board finally for Herriman. The Mustangs score a touchdown here. Closing that gap late here in the 4th quarter, JT. Might not be enough.
It might not be, but I'm going to say, I think we'll still see an onside kick with 53 seconds left.
Oh, for sure. But a great job to get on the board, to complete a drive finally. And really what I love most, this is a non-region game, so at the end of the day, it's not going to really affect what Herriman does in terms of region play and trying to get into the playoffs. You know, RPI, seeding, and all that kind of stuff, it'll play a role in there as you see the PAT go through.
53 seconds remaining in the game tonight.
The biggest thing is that you like seeing the growth from your quarterback, right? Just effective, efficient decision-making, clean throws, great plays. He's had a rough night. He's been under duress all night long. Seeing that evolution, just really love to see it.
Syracuse was a sleeper team for you, I know, Brian. After getting to watch them in person in this dominant defensive performance, what are your thoughts on them?
It starts and ends with the defense here at Syracuse. It has for a long time, and Coach Knight has made that a priority. But really what I've been impressed with was Hopkins, the quarterback, just the way that he played in the first half was just so impressive. And Jake Hopkins is not one of those guys that we talk about when we talk about the elite of the elite quarterbacks. But what I saw from him tonight has me impressed. He was able to get the ball out to his playmakers, and while Syracuse wasn't exactly explosive in the second half, they didn't need to be JT. And when you have a defense as good as theirs, they're able to rely on their defense to make plays, put them in position, do a good job. As you see them send the hands team out here. But if Hopkins can play like he did in the first half consistently throughout games, this Syracuse team becomes really, really dangerous, becomes a team that really could threaten some of the top-tier teams in 6A.
The onside kick is recovered by the Titans, so Syracuse will take this one 21-10. The pageantry of the final 49 seconds, all that remains. But Brian, I don't know about you. I feel like we watched one of the best defenses in the state. I think Herriman's in the top 10 as well, but Syracuse, especially tonight, they've looked exceptional. And they're going to play Taylorsville next week. But after that, Corner Canyon has to come out here, and that's what most would say probably the top offense in the state versus a physical Syracuse defense. And I'm excited to see that one.
It'll be an interesting game, especially with Corner Canyon playing so well against Bishop Gorman for 3 quarters. Just the athleticism and the talent of Bishop Gorman kind of overcoming the Chargers there in the fourth quarter, as you see kind of a little surprise play from Syracuse. Well, I guess with
Coach Pierce is taking his time out, so
makes sense there. Regardless, with this one almost in hand for Syracuse, this is a good football team, and they have the potential to be a great football team. But if you're going up against Corner Canyon, you can't have a second half of errors like the offense had, right? And I think we saw some good things from Bennett and Larkin in the run game. You're going to need to see more of that, because Corner Canyon comes at you with everything. And it's not just that they have some of the best athletes. Their defensive scheme is all over the place, right? That's part of why they were able to hang in there. And then if you're Syracuse, if you sit back in zone and let Isaac Wilson pick you apart, he will pick you apart. Frederick Tye is a great quarterback, but he's not Isaac Wilson. And so this is a good warm-up game for Syracuse, but I think in the second half you saw a team that looked a little bit like it was, I don't want to say bored, but maybe playing with its food. And so they've got one more week to hone in on that against Taylorsville, and then it is going to be a madhouse up here when Corner Canyon comes in.
It's going to be a lot of fun. 2 weeks from tonight, that one will get underway. 45 seconds left. Mustangs still have 2 timeouts left. They'll pitch this one to Bennett. Bennett dragged down, gain of 4, and another timeout by the Mustangs. And Brian, I'll ask you this. We talked about the sloppiness of Syracuse at times. Mustangs have had their own tonight. Mustangs, when you look at their upcoming schedule, they'll host Westlake, then they have to travel to Lehigh, and then region play gets underway. What are your expectations for Herriman going forward the rest of the season?
Herriman is a good football team, and I think much improved from last year. I think the change in region is going to help them a lot. They are competitive with Mountain Ridge, with Bingham. They should be able to hang in the top of that region. Now, it's going to come down to consistency of play, both at the quarterback position and really on offense. The defense tonight, I know, they were outstanding. They really only allowed 1 score, right?
It was the first drive of the game, and that was it.
And even then, it was a spectacular one-handed grab.
Coverage was good
from Bland that really got it going. And at that point in time, you wondered why Syracuse wasn't going to it a little bit more. And Hopkins and Bland not able to connect on the following plays. But other than that, look, we saw it tonight, right? Asiata and Ellison are a scary combination. And if you're an offense, that's a tough unit to game plan around. I thought Prescott was great tonight. The young McRae at the linebacking position played extremely well as well. As you see them.
Yeah, give it to Mays here. Mays ices the game and will go down inbounds. We got players down with injury. We got flags on the field, though, so we'll have to sort out with 30 seconds left, Brian.
Yeah, and
gets into.
You just hate to see this stuff happen at the very end of the game, and I understand that you want to play and fight till the very last minute. I don't know that this is the outcome that you want. If you're either team, you want these guys to stay as healthy as possible, but that's a great job of getting one of your playmakers involved in a way that you haven't seen previously. And I think it's good to see Ellison jump back up there for Herriman and walk off the field on his own power. But you need him healthy, and you need to keep him going throughout the rest of the season.
That's Mikkel, but correct.
Sorry,
yeah.
Mikkel.
Yeah.
Sorry, eyesight going bad a little bit. That's number 9, not number 8. Regardless, Herriman's got a great defense, and they're going to have to rely on that defense a lot until the offense becomes more consistent. And if we talked about Syracuse, finding more ways to get your playmakers involved, saw it on that play. So we've got 30 seconds left in this one. We'll get sorted out whatever the penalty was. It looks like that one goes all the way back to the 34-yard line. It had to have been some sort of personal foul, I'm assuming.
No, you need to use a timeout yet either, so Coach Pierce still has one more in his pocket for what could happen coming up here as this game is ground to a halt at the very end here. But anything's possible, right, Kevin Garnett?
All that action negated by a penalty, so we'll try it again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it again tomorrow.
Larkin remains in the backfield, but instead they will give it to Larkin. Actually, they faked it. Great tackle made behind the line of scrimmage that time. Shooting the gap was Parker Wilcox, and the Mustangs burn their final timeout. All right, Brian, this is what Herriman is trying to do. Herriman is trying to win the game right now, so tell me, with 25 seconds left, if you are the Mustangs, how you go about getting a win.
The only way you can go about getting a win right now is almost an immediate conversion and kicking a field goal, I think, right as soon as you get the ball on offense, right? So that would require an insane punt return or a very explosive play, which we haven't seen from this Herriman offense all game long, kicking the immediate field goal, then recovering an onside kick.
You'd go field goal right away?
You have to. You just don't have time right now.
I might try. I know, but it's so hard to get in the end zone, I feel like.
Which one's easier at that point, right? Is it easier to get a touchdown and then get an onside or kick, get another play or two, and then get into field goal range? Or is it easier to get into field goal range off the punt return here and then possibly get the onside kick and throw a deep bomb?
The Mustangs out here trying to go Ethan Hunt with their mission impossible to try and complete what would be one of the greatest comebacks in Utah high school football history, and it's going to start on this return from Hansen in a moment.
I cannot guarantee that this broadcast will self-destruct at the end.
Nearly the punt was blocked, so that would have made things a lot easier right there. Hansen scoops it up, and he crosses the 30, nearly had a block in the back. In fact, it will be a block in the back, and this is going to come back once they push him back at the 45 anyways. So, yeah, with 10 seconds left, it was already unlikely, but you get penalties to back it up like that, becomes even tougher.
Yeah, it does, JT. And again, I understand that wanting to stay competitive to the very end and put forth your best effort, and it's a lot of unnecessary opportunity for bad things to happen. And we talked about it, like, how do you get back into this game down 11 points with less than 30 seconds? It's almost impossible. So we'll run this one out and see what 11-point play Herriman has in store for us here at the end of the game.
As this game is about to wind down, Brian, I am curious, who was your defensive player of the game for this Syracuse team? Because, man, you got a lot to choose from.
Yeah, it was a really tough one. It's really hard to pick against anybody other than Mariner Richards, right?
Yep.
2 touchdown performance on defenses. Looks like that's going to be the end of this one.
Yeah, putting the finishing touches on it is Ty Tesh.
Tackled by Ty Tesh.
Hats off to the Syracuse Titans football team. It was a great job by them tonight. Set the tone early and often. Got the first score on the board. Had that touchdown after interception. A fumble recovery for a touchdown, and that was all she wrote as this Titan team has a competitive across-the-field effort all phases of the game. Victory over the Herriman Mustangs, 21-10 tonight. JT, as we wrap things up here on KSL Sports Rewind, who was your player of the game?
You know what? Since you took Richards, I'm gonna go with Pula. Hoyt Pula. I thought he was just all over the place off the edge. Great job creating havoc, but I could give it to the end. I mean, this is one of the first games we've ever done where we haven't been able to talk about standout offensive line because how dominant both defensive lines were overall. This was a lot of fun to call and break it down, and in the end, it's gonna be a Syracuse 21-10 victory. For our cameraman, Bill Francis, for my analyst, Brian Brown, I'm JT Wistersill. Your final, the Syracuse Titans improved to 3-0 on the season with a 21-10 win, giving the Mustangs their first loss of the season. That will do it for us from Titans Field. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.